Welcome to Cilinix Crypto and welcome in this new video in which I will tell you about a new coin, token actually, coming out in 2023 and pretty soon already. The launchpad and all is already determined. It has some big investors. It already has a working product. Excuse me, I cannot talk. But we'll talk about that because I think this token actually has a lot of potential and that I think it actually could be a very good investment. We'll talk about that in this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, welcome back. So what I forgot to say in the intro is that the way we will do this, and the way I usually do this, is I first tell you a little bit about the project and about the token sale coming up and just some things you need to know. It's basically the most important part. Then we'll talk a little bit about what the project actually is, so a little bit more into depth, but the project we'll talk about, which is Subquery. And their token SQT, it's a difficult project. So we will really zoom into the token sale and what that means and all the investors behind it. So then we'll talk about the Subquery a little bit more into depth. What is it? What does it in simple man's words, because other words I do not understand either. And then I'll talk a little bit about whether I think it's a good investment or not. All right, so let's get right into it. So as you can see right now, if you, and again, or not again, but I will post all the links down in the description, so check them out. Here on cryptorank.io, great sites, you can actually find out more about the token sale. So there's no date yet, it's an ICO. And they're doing it on TokenSoft, which is amazing. I'll show you very briefly. TokenSoft actually has some great returns on their ICOs. So for example, you can see that right here. All right, so we're back. I could not find it for a moment, but I'll just cut it out, hopefully. So here you can see TokenSoft actually has some great returns on the projects that have launched on that. For example, the Graph, which is actually pretty, you can actually compare Subquery and the Graph quite a lot, but also Avalanche and just, as you can see, great returns on the initial ICOs, on most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. So that's actually great. It's launching on TokenSoft. If you want to buy it there, you should register with TokenSoft and complete the KYC. So you have to show your passport and everything. But they will actually raise almost 25 million initially, which is quite a lot. But we'll get back to that a little bit later when we talk about whether I think it's a good investment or not. And apart from that, they have already raised $9 million in funds from huge venture capitals. This was actually almost, or this was 1.5 years ago, a little bit less. But they raised money from Arlington XRP Capital, Digital Currency Group, Stratos, just very big venture capital. So usually that's a good thing. But you know, it's just, I mean, all of these venture capitals are probably going to make money on this, all right? So you should know that they will be dumping at some point when SQT has launched. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what Subquery is, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the tokenomics and whether I think it's a good investment. So Subquery can be categorized as blockchain infrastructure. As I said, it is a little bit as the Graph, but it has some other sides as well. So I thought a very good, this is actually not what I wanted to show you. I thought a very good quick description was given in this video, which I would definitely recommend you to check out. But this was better in my opinion. Subquery is an open, flexible, fast, and universal data indexing framework for Web3. So basically they do the data indexing and they do that in different ways for Web3. So for decentralized applications most of the times. Basically it allows you to get data from all of the blockchains. They support a lot of networks, as you can see, and they allow you to do something with that data, to use it for your decentralized application, for your statistics, basically everything you need data for, which all decentralized applications need. And the way they do that is in three ways: a Subquery developer kit, SDK, a managed service, which they actually get paid for as well. So they actually manage the project and the data coming into and used in the project for you. So this is actually good for the business model. And the Subquery network, which is the most like the Graph. So this would actually also be, and we're actually going to take a quick look at it. That would be the most like the Graph for reference. The managed service is a little bit more aimed at enterprises, so it's not that entertaining, but it's just here you can see that they'll do everything for your project with the regarding the data. And they actually earn some money with that. So it's just good for the health of the network and the company behind it, because obviously there is a company behind it. But the Subquery network, I think, is the most interesting part, and it's also the most interesting part for the SQT token, because that will be the main utility token for the network. But here you will actually have consumers, so just people who want specific data for the decentralized applications and tools, delegators, so they can actually delegate their SQT tokens to indexers. And then you have the indexers, which will run and maintain high quality Subquery projects in their own infrastructure, and they will also be rewarded in SQT. And architects, and they are the builders, so they publish Subquery projects for the network to index and run. So basically that's more of a decentralized network with data. So I'm actually most excited about that. But that's very briefly and just in simple words what Subquery is. Very technical and all about data infrastructure surrounding Web3 and crypto and blockchain. So that's what it is. Now, would I think it's a good investment? All right, because I'll probably make the title something like this coin can make you rich. And I truly believe that, because I do think this coin has a lot of potential. The problem I have with it is that they are raising quite a lot of money. So the initial market cap is going to be quite high. And that's what we have, for example, seen with GRT. What you have is if you're going to reward the indexers with that SQT token, is what you're going to have is that there's probably going to be some inflation, like we've also seen with GRT right here. So I do think that SQT can become a huge crypto and that you can actually become rich with it, but I would not necessarily participate in the ICO, and I would wait for the market cap to drop down a little bit, after which I would think it's a good buy. But participating in the ICO, I'm probably going to do that if I'm allowed to do that via TokenSoft. I still have to do the KYC, but I would say it's a little bit more risky. For example, if you also take a look at the tokenomics, which I still wanted to show you, what you can see is that a lot goes to the Series A investors and the seed investors. Not a lot to the public sales, and then also still quite a lot to the team and launch partners. So there's just a high chance that a lot of these partners and investors are going to dump the SQT token. So that's why initially I don't think it's a great buy, but if it actually drops down to decent market cap, so somewhere between 5 and 10 million, I actually think it could be a great project and a great token to invest in. So I will definitely keep you updated on SQT, but for now that is my review on Subquery and their SQT token and the token launch. If you have any questions, as always, let me know, but for now, take care and bye.